In this video, we would be taking a brave look at the 10 most terrifying sea creatures ever found. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 10. Vampire Squid. The vampire squid has similarities in look to both squid and octopuses, but this terrifying sea creature is actually not a squid, but it has its own separate family of which it is the last remaining member. Animals like these are the last of their kind called living fossils. The vampire squid has the scientific name Vampyroteuthis infernalis, which means vampire squid from hell. It's usually found in the inky depths of the mesopelagic zone, which is about 3,300 feet below the ocean's surface. And though it has a terrifying name, the vampire squid is relatively small. It has a maximum length of 6 inches or 15.4 centimeters. This vampire squid gets its name from the red body coloring and not because it sucks blood. In fact, it doesn't. This sea creature feeds on decaying organic material that falls to the ocean floor. They're surprisingly docile, but the terrifying part about them is their unconventional appearance and umbrella-like tentacles. They also have glowing, bioluminescent eyes with cloak-like webbing that connects their 8 arms. Number 9. Himayera. Himayeras are usually found in the depths of the ocean at around 8,200 feet or more. To add to their already terrifying look, these sea creatures don't have any bones in their body. Instead, their insides are made of soft, spongy cartilage to support their frame. This sea creature has what appear to be eye sockets on each side of its head, but shockingly, this scary-looking sea animal doesn't have eyes. What they have are sensory pads that are used to detect electrical fields in the water. Also, these sensory pads help the creature to see in the dark, murky depths. Because of their ghoulish look, chimeras are also known as ghost sharks, spookfish, and even rabbitfish. Number 8. Giant Grenadier. Aside from their scary look, the giant grenades are popular for one thing: it stinks. This sea creature is one of the many bottom dwellers of the ocean, as they make up about 15% of the known deep-sea population. This fish stinks so badly because it contains high levels of trimethylene oxide or TMAO. It's an amino that gives this fish its pungent smell. This amino is found in human urine, sweat, and bad breath. So, just imagine very high levels of these 3 smells combined, and you can imagine how they smell. The giant grenadier is also called the giant rat tail. They're usually about 1 to 2 feet long and can live between 8 to 17 years. They feed on smaller fish, pelagic crustaceans such as shrimp, amphipods, chamations, and sometimes cephalopods and lanternfish. Number 7. Giant isopods. Giant isopods live in the deep sea and they look like they can eat you in your sleep. They only need to catch you. Luckily, they're harmless, and they feed on other deep-sea animals that are already dead. They're not related to insects, but they share a striking resemblance to pill bugs. They're massive and can grow up to 2.5 feet in length. Giant isopods are the stuff of nightmares, but they have 20 different species. One remarkable feature about them is that they can go for months or even years without eating, since food is scarce at the bottom of the ocean. However, they are carnivorous animals that feed on squid, fish, crab, and sea sponges. There were also reports of one giant isopod in Japan that went for 5 years without eating anything. Sadly, starvation took its toll and it died. These may make them awesome, but not less terrifying. Also, thanks to their tough exterior shell, giant isopods can roll up into a ball when frightened. This helps them to protect their inner organs. Number 6. Eerie anglerfish. The anglerfish is arguably one of the ugliest creatures in the world. They're most famous for their bioluminescent growth on its head that it uses to lure prey to their death at the bottom of the ocean. The lure is actually a piece of dorsal spine that is packed full of millions of glow-in-the-dark bacteria. However, only female Eerie anglerfish possess this unique bioluminescent angling instrument or fishing pole. They're usually found at the bottom of the Atlantic and Antarctic oceans as far as a mile below the surface. Aside from its terrifying look, the Eerie anglerfish has a bizarre mating ritual. The male anglerfish fuses to the female anglerfish and dies. It then dissolves until there's nothing left but extra gonads for the female fish to impregnate itself with. Talk about terrifying and outright bizarre. Number 5. Northern starcaser. The northern stargazer is found in the waters off the east coast of the United States. They bury themselves in the sandy seafloor and spring out to catch unsuspecting prey in ambush attacks. Their scary looks and terrifying ambush attacks are not the only things weird about this fish. Most species of stargazers are electric and can deliver lethal shocks to unassuming prey, shocking the prey into submission. This fish is not just terrifying to look at, but also excruciatingly painful to meet. Wonder why it's called a stargazer? The name comes from the fact that the fish have their eyes on top of their heads and are forever looking skyward at the stars. Number 4. Sarcastic fringehead. The sarcastic fringehead is a deep-sea creature that is often found on the west coast of North America. It can grow to an average of a foot in length, but they have terrible tempers. When unprovoked, the sarcastic fringehead appears harmless and poses no threat. However, when agitated or provoked, this foot-long fish will open its massive mouth in an attempt to fend off predators. It is a terrifying defense tactic that has nothing sarcastic about it. Number 3. Goblin shark. The goblin shark gets its name from its ugly look. They are extremely rare deep-sea creatures that are referred to as living fossils, thanks to their dinosaur-like appearance and the fact that they can be traced back to over 125 million years. These ancient sea creatures are in different places across the world, and they have been found in the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. They are large and can grow up to 4 meters in length and weigh as much as 440 pounds. Goblin sharks are typically easy to identify thanks to the shape of their snouts, which are elongated and flattened. They use their ugly snout to their advantage by sensing their prey with it and catching it with its thin, sharp teeth that are 50 in number. Number 2. Frilled shark. The frilled shark is outright terrifying with its eel-like body and snake-like head. They live deep beneath the surface of the ocean, as deep as 4,921 feet. To add to its already terrifying look, this fish swims through the dark oceans with its mouth wide open to attract and catch unsuspecting prey. But the most terrifying part of this frilled shark is its massive rows of teeth, which are a total of 300 individual teeth across 25 rows. These scary-looking sea creatures can grow up to 7 feet in length, and they were reported to strangle their prey like snakes. They feed mainly on squid, but they occasionally feed on smaller sharks and fish. The frilled shark is also a living fossil because they've been around for millions of years. And research shows that even though they are one of the oldest and one of the most primitive species of shark, they've not changed much even after millions of years. Number 1. Barrel eye. The barrel eye fish is also known as the spookfish, and for good reason. They are deep sea dwellers with an amazing adaptation that allows them to see in pitch black waters. What's terrifying about the barrel eye fish is that the entire top portion of their head is completely transparent, and in that transparent head are 2 glowing green eyes that are pointed above their heads. Want to hear something crazy? This barrel eye fish can move its eye all the way around to see what's going on behind it. This terrifying ability allows them to look upward for prey or forward to see what it is eating. Crazy, isn't it? Also, research says that the transparent layer of tissue that covers the head is meant to protect the eyes from getting stung by the siphonophores that they steal their food from. They feed on small crustaceans and other small organisms that are trapped in the tentacles of siphonophores. The barrel-eye fish is one of the many sea creatures that swallow its prey fully, and they live about 2,600 feet under the sea.